All right, people, like to get started tonight. Thank you all for coming to the community meeting for the 2nd Precinct for August. I'm Kevin Williams. I'm the commanding officer of the 2nd Precinct. See some new faces out there, so I appreciate you coming. We don't have a lot of officers here tonight. We usually bring them up and let them introduce themselves, but we have Captain McKeon here tonight from the 2nd. Officer Dottie's back there somewhere. Officer Parmenter up there. Can't see you. So anyway, we had a lot of things going on tonight. We have Green Lord Nights is going on, and the East Northport's having their big parade and Fireman's Fair. So we don't have as many officers as we normally have, but these officers will be here in the back if you have questions later on that you want to ask them. I'll be taking questions after I get done with my PowerPoint. Okay, so if you can hold off on some of the questions. We do have Legislator Donnelly here tonight, Tom Donnelly, thanks for coming. A rep from Stephanie Bontempi's office, and Councilwoman Lupinacci, a representative from her office. So thank you for coming, I appreciate that. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, Officer Parmenter in the back there. You may have seen him on TV, News 12, or in Newsday. He had a great save while he was out on a leisure fishing trip, some 50 miles off the coast of Long Island. He was fishing for tuna on a friend's boat, and a mayday call came over the marine radio from another boat about 6 miles away. There was a gentleman on that boat. They had caught a tuna. Yeah, come on up here. And so the hooks were in the tuna, and it was thrashing around, and it hit this gentleman in the legs a couple of times and really caused a major laceration, so he was bleeding profusely. Officer Parmenter did the right thing. We're able to locate the boat with his GPS on his phone somehow. He does have some experience with the Coast Guard, so that did help. But he had the forethought to bring a medical kit with him, a trauma kit. Now, most of us will just really think about packing lunch and a cooler and something to drink, right? He decided he was going on a trip. He brought this trauma kit with him. So he was able to board the other gentleman's boat. He located the boat some 5-6 miles away, boarded the boat, put some bandages, tourniquets, basically saved the gentleman's life. He was able to notify the Coast Guard. As they were going to shore, they were way out there, so it was going to take time. He realized that the time frame was getting shorter because the gentleman was kind of starting to lose consciousness, I believe. So he wound up calling the Coast Guard helicopter. They came and they medevac the guy. So basically, we got a hero standing right here in front of us. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can see.
Did you catch anything?
Yes, I did.
So, hold on. So the Suffolk County Legislature honored Officer Parmenter. Last week I was there. They gave him a couple proclamations. We're all there, took a nice picture. That was a really nice ceremony. And Senator Mario Matera also was able to put him in for the Liberty Medal, which is like the highest medal a civilian can get, and he was acting as a civilian at the time. From the state of New York, and he was honored with that on Monday, and I was at that ceremony. And he's also a fairly new officer. He's only been out on the street for about 6 months, so.
Wow.
I am blessed to have him working in the 2nd Precinct, and it just goes to show you the kind of compassion he has for like his fellow citizens by carrying that material with him to be able to help people. So we're pretty blessed to have him, and he did a great job, so thanks. I thought I'd honor him tonight. Okay, we'll get into the index crimes for the precinct. This is year to date. Okay, so you can see we're doing pretty good. No homicides this year, thank God. Robberies, we have 7 robberies this year, and we had 12 last year, so we're down at 41%. Assaults, we're also down. We had 45. We had 56 last year. Residential burglaries, 17, 28 last year. down 39. Commercial burglaries down also, 11 as opposed to 36 last year. Larcenies are down also, 865 as to 2014. And vehicle thefts are also down, 23 for the year as opposed to 54 last year. So year-to-date numbers are really good for the whole precinct. Excellent. Monthly crimes. Okay, so not as great, but it is July, and usually the summer months are a little bit busier. So we'll go right to robberies. We had one robbery in July. We didn't have any in June, which is really good. So up slightly. It looks like a lot, but it's just one. Assaults, we had 8 in July. We had 6 in June, so we're up slightly there. Residential burglaries, we were even. Commercial burglaries, we had 3. I'll be talking about them. Larcenies, we were up in July as opposed to June, 135. And then vehicle thefts was the only thing we were down. We had 3 in June and only 2 in July. So that's good. Overall, the numbers look pretty good. This was the robbery we had. Sunday, July 28th, about 2 p.m. On New York Avenue in Huntington Station. The complainant was outside a deli, and he was approached by 2 suspects. One displayed a knife, and they demanded his wallet. So he complied. He gave the suspects his wallet, and they took his money, and then they fled in a white sedan. We're investigating this. The detectives are working on it. There may be a suspect. We'll see. This was an assault that occurred. I've had a few assaults lately. People need to be nicer to each other. That's what I can tell you. Sunday, on the 14th of July, this is at night, 11:42 p.m., over at Lowndes and Columbia Street. Patrol officers responded to Huntington Hospital. They were reporting the victim of a stabbing there. The victim reported that while at the above location, he was stabbed in the back and slashed across the face by a male suspect. The suspect was later identified and arrested by patrol officers, and he was charged with assault second. So that was a nice response by the patrol officers. They gathered enough information to get a good description of this offender, and they were able to take him into custody. So good job by those guys up there.
Were they known to each other?
I don't know that. No, I don't think they were. I think they were just passing by. And yeah, no, I know. Another assault. This is on Saturday the 20th, early in the morning, or later at night, whatever you want to say, 4:40 a.m. Safario Bar, Huntington Station. After a verbal altercation with some other males in the parking lot, the victim was struck in the head with a beer bottle. He was taken to Huntington Hospital and treated for a head laceration and a broken tooth. Upon further investigation, second squad detectives were able to identify and arrest the suspect, and he was charged with assault second degree. So this was good. They had a little spat inside the bar. It came out into the parking lot. It continued, and he was smashed in the face with a bottle. But I guess because either cameras and maybe they were known to each other, the detectives were able to identify the offender, and they arrested him also. Another assault. The 22nd, at 12:35 p.m., New York Avenue, Huntington Station. Several subjects were drinking in the parking lot together when a male and female in the group got into a verbal dispute. It escalated, and then the female picked up a broken piece of glass and she slashed the guy across the chest and his neck. He was transported to Huntington Hospital, treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Again, our patrol units responded quickly, and they were able to locate and identify the offender, and he was arrested and charged with assault second degree. So good job by the patrol guys again. Came late. How you doing? Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I figured that. This is a burglary, July 1st, 3:17 in the afternoon, Vernon Valley Road in East Northport. The complainant reports a known suspect kicked in a front door, illegally entered her residence, caused damage within, and stole some of her property. Again, the suspect was located by responding officers and arrested. So, you know, your second precinct officers are doing a fine job out there. They respond quickly to these calls, and a lot of times, if the offender's still near in the area, they're grabbing them up, and it's good. It makes it easier. This, I think they were known to each other. Another burglary. This is a commercial. Walt Whitman Road in Melville, between Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th, between the hours of 4:30 p.m. and 9 a.m. The complainant reported an unknown suspect cut off the locks to the outside fence of his building, and they gained access to the property, and then they went into the building, I believe through an unlocked door, and they stole numerous items and tools that were valued at around $1,500. So I always say lock your doors, lock everything, you know, even though the fence is locked outside. It's easy to hop the fence or get over the fence, and you know, if you could secure everything, it makes it that much harder for them to do a crime. I'm going to say no on this one. I couldn't tell you positively. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was like a landscaping place. I think that's what it was, because that's the tools that were taken, like a blower and.
I guess not everybody does it.
Yeah. Okay. Another burglary. This was at the car wash on Broad Hollow Road in Melville. Again, overnight between Wednesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. to 7. The complainant reports that during the overnight hours, an unknown suspect broke through an interior wall of his business, and while inside damaged a portable ATM machine, removing $2,300. This suspect also stole a laptop computer. We do have video on this one, and the detectives are investigating, so I'll leave it at that. I'll give you an update if we make an arrest.
Those ATM machines are not easy to get into.
Yeah, I know. Well, sometimes they're pretty ingenious, some of these burglars, the way they get in. Another burglary. This was a residence on Wednesday, the 31st, between 2:25 and 10:43 p.m. Old East Neck Road in Melville. Complainant reports an unknown suspect illegally entered his residence through an unlocked rear door, and while inside broke the door to his bedroom and stole over $250,000 worth of jewelry. The complainant's son was home watching TV, and he said he didn't hear or see anything. So, you know, some people have the TV really loud when they're watching things, and I don't know. We'll see about this one. It's a little suspect. We'll see.
I have a question about that one. Was
Yes.
that Old East Northport of the Expressway or South of the Expressway?
That's a good question. I usually don't put the exact address because I don't want, you know, we live stream these, so I'd have to check on that. Yeah, you know what, I didn't actually Google map that one, and I couldn't tell you by the address if it was north or south, but I could find out, we could find out, you know, you want to leave your number with Officer Dowdy, and I could let you know where it was. Okay, we had a reckless endangerment. This was on July 4th at 9 p.m. Holst Drive in Huntington. The homeowner reports he heard the sound of glass breaking in his kitchen. He noticed that the exterior pane of glass had a small hole in it. And he originally thought maybe someone was shooting off fireworks and something shot into the window and broke the window. But the next day, when it was light out, he looked in the window, and you know, double pane windows, there's a little space in between. He discovered a small bullet at the very bottom of the window between two panes of glass. So our detectives are investigating. We're not thinking anybody was targeted here. A lot of times on 4th of July, for some reason or another, besides fireworks, people want to fire off guns, you know, for noise, whatever, and maybe someone fired a gun. The bullet probably wound up ricocheting or something and going through this guy's window. So, I mean, we looked into the house and everything, just a normal residence, nobody that would be targeted by anything. But just letting you know about that. Okay, some of you will be very happy because we impounded another ATV. I know this is a big complaint throughout the precinct, and in the summer months, a lot of people come to the meetings and say, what are you going to do about these ATVs? The last meeting I talked, we did get another one. So yeah, on the 11th, 2nd Precinct CSU officers, those guys are great. They know I want them to find these guys because I get so many of these complaints. So we got a team of guys out there that are looking hard for these guys, and they were able to locate 2 guys on an ATV driving on Route 110. Okay, they stopped them and they issued him 8 summonses and they impounded his ATV. So just so you know, we talk about this a lot at the meetings. It's hard for us to get these guys because we can't really pursue them. There's a liability issue. If we chase them and they get killed, then we're going to be liable for their death. But we will try to stop them other ways or try and locate where they're going and then maybe catch them on the way in or out of their garage. So if any of you have these kids in your neighborhood and you would like to maybe whisper an address in our ear, we could go and either talk to maybe the parents or talk to the kids on the thing and say, hey, if you operate this on the street, we're going to take it from you, we're going to impound it, and it'll be destroyed. So we do care. I know there's a lot of it out there because I see the reports all the time. We did get another one, so I figured you'd like to know about that. Okay, massage parlor. This is they pop up all the time. So we hit them, and we close them down, and then another one pops up. So we field all kinds of complaints about these, and we have to do an investigation before we can just go in and shut them down. So they did another one on the 29th in response to community complaints. All these units, our crime section, our plainclothes division, the Suffolk DA's office, the Town of Huntington Fire Marshal, and our code enforcement, Huntington Code Enforcement, appreciate their help too. They conducted an investigation at the Sunny Spa, located at 825 Jericho Turnpike in Huntington Station. One woman who was the owner, she was arrested for the unauthorized practice of a profession, which is a felony, and prostitution, a misdemeanor, and also criminal nuisance because she's the owner and she was operating this business. So that's another charge she gets. And the town issued several code violations, and they're conducting a further investigation into the business. So we shut another one down, but we'll continue to do that.
Inspector, the DA's office?
Yeah, they go in.
Go.
Yeah, because some do it like going in there, maybe getting a warrant. I think maybe ahead of time they have to apply for a warrant. I'm not really sure. I'd have to talk to the lieutenant. But yeah, they get involved. They also want to know where they're trying to find out where the money's going. So. Search warrant was executed. West 19th Street, Huntington Station on the 12th, 6:05 in the morning. Second squad detectives and our narcotics squad executed a search warrant there. We recovered a quantity of fentanyl. Everybody's heard of fentanyl, knows that fentanyl is very dangerous. You only need a tiny little bit and it could kill you. So this was a nice job by our narcotics guys. They probably had a few buys into this house and they were able to get a search warrant. And the guy, he was arrested and charged with criminal possession and criminal sale of a controlled substance. Those are both felony charges. So good job. Not sure, but not a great amount, but decent amount. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the site team. The site team is the highway patrol. And our highway patrol officers have, they come into the precinct on occasion, usually on a monthly basis, and they supplement our officers with traffic enforcement, okay? So they're called the site team, Strategic Initiative Traffic Enforcement. And a lot of times they'll ask me, where do we need to go? Where do you need us to go? And I base it on a lot of the complaints that we get here. So these are some of the roads that are constant problems, and I didn't have the numbers for last month's meeting because the sergeant was off and everything. So I got June and July for this month's meeting. In June, they hit several of those locations and they issued 197 summonses, and 177 of them were for moving violations. And in July, they really hit him. 226 summonses, and 195 of those were for moving violations. They were down on Main Street in Cold Spring Harbor. There was someone who had a complaint I met with, and I don't know if she's here tonight because I told her to come to the meeting, but they were down there, and they were there in the afternoon and in the morning. So we tried to give her a little of attention over there. Yes?
Can I ask a question? Is that the same team who would go after these obstructed license plates violators? This is one of my biggest complaints, and I feel not safe on the road
Okay.
with these fellow drivers.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if something happens,
If
I get killed
if
or
they're
hurt,
covered, yeah.
if these guys have insurance or not. What are
I could tell you,
guys doing about
I could tell you these guys, if they see that, they're definitely stopping that car. They are pretty much all business, very little discretion. That's their job. Primarily, that's what they do, traffic enforcement. So if they're stopping a car with that, you're getting a ticket. There's no, it's a little different for them because that's primarily what they do. So yes, they would have no problem with enforcing that. We see a lot of that, and all guys do it too. Yeah.
Police officers?
Oh yeah, highway patrolmen. Yes, the highway patrol. So again, their primary function is traffic enforcement. And these guys particularly go into different neighborhoods. I mean, they travel through all the precincts, and we get them like a couple, maybe twice a month. They come in, and they'll hit these hot spots, And if I get other ones, I'll give them those locations, and they'll go there. So they kind of supplement what our officers do. Our officers are doing a really terrific job with issuing summonses. We got quite a few this year also. The captain knows the numbers. I don't know. He's up there. But our guys are doing a good job too. But this is just on top of that. So, and I can tell you that they write a lot of moving violations. So, it's pretty serious when they pull you over. Okay, so we didn't have any fatal accidents in July, which is a good thing, but we had a couple serious injury accidents. And we had one on the 17th at 3:30 p.m. on 9th Avenue, Huntington Station. There was a tow truck operator, a female. She was working out in the street, I guess trying to tow a vehicle, and she was struck and seriously injured. Yes, but she's going to recover, but she was hit. Now, tell everybody, be patient out there. Everybody wants to get somewhere in a hurry. But, if you see a tow truck with the yellow lights or whatever, slow down a little. You're supposed to do that for police cars and fire trucks. Do it for the tow truck people too, please.
Was there
Be courteous.
consequences to the person who hit her?
Well, he stopped and, I guess, I don't know if he was distracted. I don't know what his reason was. I wasn't at that scene, but, and then this was another one at like 2 p.m. on Jericho Turnpike. In the parking lot at TJ Maxx, okay? In the parking lot. This woman was walking and someone struck her and she was seriously injured. You see people going through these parking lots way too fast. You should, less than 5 miles an hour. Just for cars backing up, sometimes you don't see it. How this happened, where this woman, I guess, or whoever hit her wasn't paying attention, and she was just walking and she's elderly, so maybe she's going a little slower. But how do you not really see somebody like right in front of you? Even if you're turning, you should be able to stop if someone's there. So again, try and be courteous to the other people and pedestrians out there if you can. We can avoid this. Yes?
Do we know the condition of that woman?
She's going to survive, but I think she had a broken leg or something, so it was pretty good. I only mention those because usually I just talk about the fatal ones, but this is important to try and get people to slow down a little bit, or distracted, right? All right, these are the arrests in the precinct for July. 24 felony arrests, 95 misdemeanor arrests, 5 assault arrests. You saw we have a problem with assault, so we got some arrests, which is good. Gang related, 9 gang members were arrested. 2 MS-13, 4 Bloods, 1 OSS, Old Station Soldiers, I believe, 1 Southside Posse, and 1 Tip Top Boys. So I'm getting good at that, right? Yeah. So, well, apparently they're an old gang because I had to ask, TPB, what's that? And they said Tip Top Boys. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So before I was here that. Yeah, I guess maybe it's an old. He's probably an older guy, and Still
So it
has.
could be that he was just affiliated
Yeah,
years
that's,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still
And then
in the
maybe
system as a gang member, so.
Oh, and then or maybe arrested for something.
Yes, yeah.
completely unrelated.
Drug-related arrests, we had 12, and DWIs, 14, and for around a total of 145 for the month.
Inspector, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Sorry to bother you. I should ask this during the robbery section. Are we seeing any more catalytic converter type arrests or robberies, that kind of stuff? From what I gather, the ratio is much less than last year.
Catalytic converter thefts are down. We have had them in the precinct. They're sporadic. They're sporadic. They're spread out. They go, they've been in Greenlawn, they've been in East Northport, they've been in Melville, they've been in the station. They look for certain cars. I know the Hondas are a big one, and what is it, the Priuses they like. It's hard to catch them. They operate at like 3, 4 in the morning.
Right.
Every once in a while, someone hears a saw going, and they go out, and as soon as they come out, they take off, and they're all masked up. And
From what I
they,
gather, it's a lot less though, is that correct?
it's been less. It has been less, yeah. I thought it was going to go down because they were putting a lot of pressure on the guys that take the metal. And yeah, so, but they're still out there. No, they're still out there though. But it has gone down. Okay, domestic incidents, that's a big part of what we do, respond to domestic incidents. We had in July 207 calls that we responded to. Out of those, 62 of them were criminal in nature, and we made 14 arrests. That doesn't mean the other 62 won't have arrests, but they might still be in the middle of the investigation and putting it all together. But 14 resulted in arrests. Overdoses. We've been good in the second precinct, believe it or not. We had 3 non-fatal, and 2 of them were in Huntington Station and 1 in Dix Hills, and we've had 0 fatals. And when I look at the numbers for basically the county and all the other precincts, we're on the lower end of that, so that's a good thing for the town of Huntington. I know that make you happy.
Of course.
It's good. Shot spotter. For those of you who are new and don't know what shot spotter is, I usually explain real quick. Basically, this company puts up these acoustic receivers, and they can detect gunshots. Okay, so they put them in a radius, and if there's gunshots within those sensors, it pinpoints the location and it sends it to the patrol cars on the computer screens, and the officers are able to go to that location within 10, 15 feet, and we can investigate if there was a gunshot there or a gun went off there. We're looking for a victim, we're looking for shell casings, any kind of evidence. Luckily, as you see, all of these were something other than gunshots. And yes.
It didn't pick up the one on the 4th with the window?
You see the 4th up there? No, but you know what? It might not have been in the zone because that was Huntington. So
okay.
most of the shot spotter is like in the station. So yes, so anyway, all of these locations, one was fireworks, neg result means negative results. The officers went, they checked, they didn't find shell casings, they didn't find anybody shot. And then on one there was a vehicle backfire, and then there was a generator. I guess the guy was working on a generator, trying to get started, it was popping and whatever. And so, the system isn't a perfect system, but they pinpoint the location a lot better. That's what I was told. But they still pick up false kind of readings. So
None for the 4th of July?
none. I was very surprised.
No.
Yes, none.
Go shot spotter.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know if they turned it off or what, because I was expecting that. I was expecting that, but I don't know. Maybe they, they do when they get that and they get the sound. They have these sound sensors. It's all technical stuff that is way over my head, but they're able to look to see. Like if it's a gunshot, I guess has a certain wavelength or something. I don't know, but yeah, there must have been a way they figured out. What was that?
Was it ascertained what caliber it was?
What, that gun?
The bullet.
Oh, the one on you know what?
I think
They
it might have been a pellet.
no, it was a bullet. They said it was a bullet. I'm thinking maybe a 22. Yeah, I'd have to ask the detectives. I'm more interested in just getting the guy who fired the gun. I'm not that concerned about the caliber. But yes, I don't know. Okay, some upcoming events. What do we got left here? Car seats, that's over. All right, so Stranger Danger, August 15th, 2 to 4. This is at the War Women Shops. And then on August 22nd, anti-bullying, 2 to 4. Again, if you're interested, jot those down or take a quick picture of that slide and you can go there. Stranger Danger is good if you got kids, right? And anti-bullying also. That's a nice, the officers do a nice little presentation there for you. Pool safety, I talk about this all through the summer. Please, you know, been a lot of drownings this year. Just, you know, if you can, make sure there's supervision there and flotation devices, whatever you need. There's been too many tragedies this year when it comes to the drownings. These are all the reminders. We go over this every month. It seems like silly to have to say this, but we get so many people that get stuff stolen out of their cars and they're like, the car was open, or I left my key fob in the car, in the driveway. Always lock your car, always lock your door, because, I mean, it's not like years ago you can't leave your doors open. Even when I'm home, I lock my doors, you know, and it sounds weird, but sometimes people just wander into your house. You know, we've had this happen. When people are home, they just try the door and they go in. So I would always recommend locking everything and securing your valuables. If you have video cameras, that's helpful to us. If you get something on video, we're going to take that. Our officers have cameras now. They could download that video a lot of times right to their camera, so we can use that. You know, if we have a good facial thing, sometimes we can use the facial recognition, you know, to come up with a suspect. So if you have videos, it's good. Okay, gifts, cards. I read way too many of these reports. It's like a passion of mine to try and stop this, but it's just more and more frequent. It's crazy how many people are getting scammed by people. And they target elderly people, and it breaks my heart. It really does. So if someone's on the phone with you and they're trying to get you to get gift cards for something, they're saying you didn't pay a bill or whatever, you didn't pay your, what is it, LIPA now, whatever, and they want you to pay in gift cards, it's a scam. Your bill was probably paid, but they called you and said you didn't pay it. Don't believe it, okay? This phone call about a relative getting arrested is a common one, and people send thousands, $10,000, $15,000 they send, and so if someone comes to get it, and then they realize they've just been scammed, you know? So try and reach out to whoever that person may be, or a relative that would know that's not the case. The gym larcenies was something I talked about last month. I just left it on there because if you go to these gyms, you know, like a regular commercial gym, Crunch Fitness, whatever these places are, Planet Fitness, the guys, they watch. And if you leave stuff in the car, sometimes they break into the car to get your wallet or your pocketbook. And also if there's lockers inside, they've been breaking into them too. So just, you know, bring as little as possible to the gym, whatever you may need, your license. I don't know, I wouldn't bring all my credit cards with me, because as soon as you steal these wallets, they're hitting the stores and they're using these credit cards. And that's how a lot of people find out. Their phone starts going off, I'm not in Target, you know, and then they get alerted. So just something to be aware of. And then this was another one, I'm seeing this a lot. It's like a virus company, you know, Norton or whatever the other one is. McAfee. Anyway, they claim to be, or you get an email that says, you know, oh, thank you for paying, you know, for your subscription to Norton or whatever. And the guy's like, I didn't get Norton. So then they call, right? They click on it, there's a number, and you call and say, oh, Norton, I didn't want a prescription. And they said, oh, you know, we screwed up, we're gonna refund your money. They get you to download an app, okay? That's the one, and this is another one where they claim that you have a virus. And they say, you gotta download this app. And if you download that app, they have total control of your computer, and they go right into your bank accounts and they start draining them. So don't download any apps from anybody over the phone, or if you get a pop-up like that, you know, if you didn't contact that company, it's probably a scam. You know, so be careful on the computers. I hate to see these people get taken for so much money, but it's like on a regular basis. It's really out of control. So, yeah. Sir, no, let me get him and then I'll go. Go.
So it doesn't affect me because I don't have a really nice car, but I know that a lot of nicer higher end cars, when you lock the car, usually, I think one or both mirrors fold in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a ton of thefts on my block over whatever the last couple of years, and I'm wondering if people that are successful in breaking into cars. are
They know
able to
this.
see.
Yeah,
So
they do know that.
I wish there was a way to tell people, dude, if your things are open,
Yeah.
the car's not locked.
Well, I tell them.
I know, I mean,
Lock your car, take your fob inside. But, you know, I don't know, some people, whether they're, you know, they're just, you know, absent-minded or whatever, they're like, I left my keys in the car. And it's, you know, some of these people have really long driveways, maybe they don't want to walk down there, I don't know. But, yeah, I can't say it enough. Lock everything. Lock everything. Secure everything. Okay, that's it. Next meeting is September 3rd. 10 a.m. at the precinct. Hope to see you there. If anyone has questions now, I'll take them. I'll start with you, ma'am. Go ahead.
I have two, sorry.
Uh-oh, I feel like I'm in the White House press conference. They always have more than one question when you watch that. Go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead.
Missed the last slide, that's my.
Okay.
The last slide, are you finding that even with those bail scams that I'm hearing, which I don't know if you guys know about this whole AI, which is good and bad in ways, but there are actually some bad people out there are AI-ing voices.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounded exactly like my child who's in college in another state and said, you know, send me money, Mom, you know, or send me money, Grandma.
Sure.
So are you,
Did that happen to you?
no.
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
praying that it doesn't happen to my children, but we have ways with my children to, we have codes. and
yeah.
We have cell phones and, you know, and
Okay.
that we have a system that we know,
I-
only us as a family know.
I have no doubt with all this new technology that they'll probably be able to get someone's voice and you will believe that it is your child on the other end or something. So I would be very careful. You know, I tell the story a few times. They did it to my mom, and they knew my son's name, and they made up a story that he was in a car accident. He was drinking. My son doesn't drink at all. So right there, she was like, "Wait a minute, you don't drink." And then she said, "It doesn't sound like you." And they're very quick. And he said, "Oh, well, I hit my mouth on a steering wheel and I have, you know, my mouth is bandaged or I'm bleeding." And then, but my mother has a tradition that she does every year, and she goes, "What do we do on Christmas?" And he knew it, but he didn't know. The guy said something else, and she goes, "This isn't him." And then she hung up. Then she called me right away. And she's like, "You got to find this guy." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." The call is like usually from, I don't know, out of the country sometimes, you know. But yes, you're right, ma'am. They probably, you know, whatever. I'm telling you, the more I see these scams, the more advanced they get. It's crazy. And then with technology nowadays, I'm sure there's no problem.
Before you mail any money, could you call that police agency to verify? My name is Mrs. Jones. I want
Yeah.
to know if you have my son in custody.
Yeah, that would be a good way to check. You know, they actually able to spoof the numbers too. They had a thing where it was showing up as the Suffolk County Police Department. And sometimes they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I'm the inspector of the 1st precinct in Suffolk County or the 2nd precinct." And maybe have the name because, you know, they can go on the website. And they've done that where they spoof the number and it looks like it's coming from us. And it's not. If you go on our website, the Suffolk County PD website, they have a lot of these scams listed. And it goes into some detail. I would recommend you look at that if you're worried.
I do have, I'm sorry, my.
Oh, second question, okay.
It's just send out to your site, group or department. I live in.
Okay.
Melville, and, there's a lot of, there's stop signs there, but the problem also is that there's a lot of non-stop signs. And
Yeah.
people just, it's almost like a race car. And
Okay.
a lot of people walk their dogs, a lot of people ride their bikes, it's very flat, it's a very kind of knit, but we also have Old Country Road that just got paved. So
Yeah,
it became
great.
30 to 50.
Yeah.
And the flying from, actually literally from Jericho Turnpike to the, to New York Avenue and Northern State.
Okay. I think Old Country was on that list where those guys go, but we'll put it on our list. And do you have a particular intersection where we can pinpoint to look?
Like Row,
All right, can you give to, oh, it's yours? It says, he's here every, all right, yeah, okay. Oh, the same?
What's
What's
interesting
that?
is that you can't have a stop sign on every corner,
No,
but when people cut the corners, so if I'm walking and I'm going around the corner,
Yeah.
someone's not going in the middle of the road to like ride bikes and people can walk their dogs.
Okay.
So,
Listen,
the flying through the stop signs is just absolutely the point of.
I can tell you that, and I usually explain this every meeting, like we hit spots and we move on to the next spot because you have your sign and he's got his, and then I had the woman in Cold Spring Harbor. I mean, I send my officers there, I do, but you know, it usually can't be every day. You know, we're gonna hit you one week and then we're gonna go there next week, and you know, so we get it out, we try, you know, but
It's a hard area.
Sure.
because Not every stop.
just give the location, a good location to Alyssa, and I'll put it on the list and I'll give it to my enforcement guys, and we'll go down there and we'll write some summonses down there. I don't know if it'll change the behavior, but we'll try. Yes, go ahead.
Can we request that site team to go to a particular street I live on? And
Okay.
they fly down
Yeah.
all the time, go through the stop signs.
Can you just give her the location and she'll take it down? Okay.
They put a,
Slow down.
Slow down.
no, it doesn't stop them. It's actually St. Anthony's High School.
Oh,
When
it's,
they get
yeah.
out, they just fly. It's the buses,
No problem.
It's the teachers, it's the students, it's absolutely out of
And the fact that the
control.
parents come and park anywhere
Yeah.
on Wolf Hill Road is absolutely disgusting too. They're going over everything.
Yeah.
You can't even get down Wolf Hill Road, especially buses. Buses that have to go to Countrywood, another school, that's in the school district. Yeah, my kids are always late for Countrywood, and I'm in that. Because the bus can't get down there, because parents just sit there waiting for their kids to come out.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, we'll go down there. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Along with our fellow
Okay.
people here, about a year ago, I sent an email to Mr. Stadal.
Oh, okay.
The Highway Department.
I know who he is.
And on an average basis, when St. Anthony's is let out through Longwood, there are 15 buses
Okay,
and 50 cars that come down Longwood every single day.
okay.
Morning and night, twice. And then that's not counting the old country road, the Countrywood.
Okay.
Now I'm told that the school next door, there's a proposition to make that a regular elementary school.
Silas Wood.
Oh, okay.
Replace Silas Wood and move it to the old memorial.
Yeah, okay.
The amount of traffic you're gonna have to put a double yellow line down Longwood.
Longwood,
Drive.
okay. Longwood's a problem.
Long
Are the
drive.
buses not allowed to go down Longwood? Is there a restriction on the buses going down that road?
There's no restriction.
Oh.
And they're the worst ones.
They
They're the
don't,
worst
they
offenders.
come through Longwood because they don't want to go straight to the 5 corners.
Oh, okay.
They don't want to go down Pigeon Hill because that's backed up. a mile.
So that might have to be a conversation we have with the bus company.
I don't know if that's your or
Yeah.
it's the town's responsibility to
Yeah.
do something about minimizing.
Yeah.
I can understand the buses.
Yeah,
The buses aren't the biggest problem, although when they come through and there are landscapers on the street and everything.
Sure.
If you
Gets clogged up.
literally take your life in your hands,
Yeah.
walking down that street.
sure.
And he walks the dog and he's in a wheelchair.
Oh.
I can't even begin to tell you how many times he had to
Yeah.
go into a driveway to get away from
So,
the speed.
Okay.
from a purview perspective, is this something that is a precinct issue or is it a town issue?
Well, enforcement for speed and whether they're going through stop signs or not would be us.
The stop sign there is.
I don't know if they can restrict the buses because, you know, they have to go, I know all the buses don't have to go that way. This might be a conversation we might need to have with the bus company to say, hey, you got to scatter those buses. Like, unless they're going into that neighborhood, they shouldn't be using that as a cut-through, you know?
There
Yeah,
are probably 100 buses at St. Anthony's.
right.
I mean, this is, I
Yeah.
only count 15 of them at that time. But like I said, I don't think the buses are the biggest problem.
Okay.
It's the students and the
Students.
teachers
All
and
right.
the parents.
Well, then that's us. If we can go down to Longwood and do speed or whatever else we got to do. And,
I'm
yeah.
the neighborhood watch coordinator in their neighborhood.
okay,
So there's about 200 families, and it's not just Longwood either, because I've been getting messages. It's Darby, Sunnywood, Longwood,
okay,
Craig.
okay, all right,
um,
yeah.
Like, it's the
She's
whole
writing them down.
area that's in
Okay.
there.
So it's mostly the problem with everybody leaving St. Anthony's?
It's the buses going through to miss 5 corners, it's, like
Okay.
I said, the students, It's the teachers, everybody's just cutting through the neighborhood now.
Okay, yeah.
And now with Silas Wood gonna move over here, at least we think they are, it's now another school that's gonna have more people cutting through.
Okay.
And it's a problem already, and St. Anthony's has gotten so big.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to St. Anthony's too. All right.
There's a sign on Route 110, just south of Old Country Road, that doesn't permit a cut-through during
Oh,
school
yeah.
hours.
Oh, okay.
That, it really needs
Yeah, can we
something
get
like
that?
that, and
That's
obviously it
Snyder
says
Street,
accept
that's
buses.
Between 4 and 6 p.m.
Yeah,
Snyder and.
right. It's during, just during the commuting time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inspector, thank you very much
Okay.
for what's been going on. This is 3 years.
Yeah.
Before your tenure at the second precinct. This problem's been going on and on and on. Do you think you have a problem? Nothing compared to what we have on the other side. It got to a point, right, that I think she's here, showed up at my house. The bus company wanted to press charges against me because educational bus is hired by St. Anthony's or by the districts. None of them drop kids off local. They take them, one bus in particular, 1407, not that I see it all the time, is driven by a white-haired woman. And she just rides through the stop sign, doesn't even apply the brakes, right down the street. So one day I went to her like this, and she went like that, okay? So that's what we put up with. The inspector's well aware of it.
Yeah.
Right? I've been asking and asking. I've gone to the town. The town has told me they cannot do a no-through traffic,
Right. Yeah.
that the buses are not considered commercial vehicles, so they're permitted, right? They're not permitted to go through stop signs. Right? They go the real classic, and like you said, it's St. Anthony's. The last count I had, there was 56 full buses in the back and 82 small buses
Wow.
in the front at one day.
And the problem is, of course,
It's
the
morning, noon, and night.
supports the whole Long Island. So these buses are coming from.
Sure.
But they're not.
No, I know what the St. Anthony system is.
You can't park it, you can't go down Pigeon Hill Road or Wolf Hill Road. They park on the road. It's not just in the no parking zone.
Okay.
If they want to be there, they park on the lanes.
Really?
When
Okay.
the buses start coming out, the reason they cut through, because they don't want to sit and wait.
Right, right.
So they go down, because if they wait too long, they come out the back of St. Anthony's, come down Pigeon Hill Road to the sign, to the light, go on the parkway, or go onto Wolf Hill Road. Well, they don't want to wait, so they'll just park the buses right across the road. Try and get through Old Country Road, right? They park. So it's about time. Last week, the town, right, they paved Old Country Road, and they made Earl Road. I called 911, yeah, we'll get somebody. I tried the precinct, couldn't, right? Town says, we have no control over it. Yeah, but you can send all your trucks and your cars down, right? And just a sidelight, you talked about walking your dog. Okay? There's a little thing in the law that says you are supposed to walk facing traffic. Whether it's in the law or not, if you think about it, it's probably the safest thing, right? You can see the car coming and maybe jump out of the way. So, sorry I went on my high horse, but I
No.
think after 3 years of putting up with it.
Is there any way to talk to the
It's time to do
St.
something.
Anthony's?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down there and have a conversation with them because,
I mean, I don't think you can force them to tell the buses, but maybe they can work with the buses and say, you know,
yeah.
at least.
And the
buses
and the bus companies, we're gonna have to do something
And
because,
then the parents and then.
Educational bus, and I spoke to the director of safety.
and what'd he say? He doesn't care?
It's a woman, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, but at least they give us a picture of the license
Okay.
plate, and we'll find out.
All right. Any other questions?
I knew you were coming.
Yes, go ahead.
Corner of Pine One and South Service Road.
Okay.
People selling food
Okay.
walking through the traffic.
Selling food.
I mean, let's face it, they're not paying taxes, they're not getting a certificate from the Board of Health, while everybody else has, so they should be made to do it.
Okay. Pine Lawn, what are they selling?
This week it was cold drinks.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just making what, oh, yeah, they can't do that. Okay. No, they're supposed to have permits for all that.
There's a guy on York Avenue who sells fruit. He comes with the crates and crates of fruit in like a van,
Yeah, you can't do that.
like right in the middle of Huntington
They're not allowed to
Station.
do that.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Good.
The four of us, we live on. We don't have anything related to what you were talking about here. We've been having an ongoing issue with a neighbor behind our homes.
Okay.
The neighbor is constantly playing music at all hours of the day, blasting it.
Okay.
And we've made a series of complaints. Now, I'm in law enforcement as well, and I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I'm not a Suffolk
Yeah,
police
no.
officer. But I was on the conditions team. And when we used to respond to noise complaints, I would give them a warning first, and then I would tell them when I came back that I'm going to take the machines
Sure.
that were making it,
Yeah.
and I would voucher it back at the precinct, and then they'd have to come and they'd have to pick it up at the precinct the following day. I've had a number of really good guys come to the house, good cops, and they've gone around the block, tried to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
He is, I think he owes, I don't know how many thousands of dollars. That code enforcement come over, we've done everything.
Mm-hmm.
But they just don't stop.
Really?
And,
What's, well, afterwards, can you give her the address, please, so?
We've been dealing with that for many years.
Really?
And some of the officers that had come to our house had said that they don't even bother to open the door to them anymore. That's the
Is that
level of
bad?
disrespect to authority that this guy has.
Okay.
And he just thinks that by ignoring the situation is gonna go away.
Mm-hmm.
We have heard that there's some sort of like a rental of their pool for people and
Oh.
to have parties, which is not legal because it's a residence.
B&B type of thing?
Yeah, and the other thing is that, you know, if we dare to say something, he retaliates. Our front door was shut.
we can't
something.
prove the linkage,
Yeah.
but it's
Sure,
interesting that
sure,
our front
sure.
door was shot out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And our next door neighbor's solar panels, they threw rocks on top of that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
obviously we can't, this is all,
Yeah.
hearsay. We don't have it connected.
I get it.
It seems kind of
Okay.
obvious to us, at least.
And it's not just
Not on camera, but can we get the address later, so I
It's
can,
not just the noise, it's like 3-4 days in a row, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no.
You can even-
Yeah, he's
you can even
disrespectful.
have a
I get
cup
it.
of coffee and you're
Yep.
listening to the music.
Yeah.
The vulgarity
We
on the
can't
music.
use our yards.
That's
We can't
terrible.
use our
No.
yards. This is nuts, and
Yeah.
it's going on for so long.
okay. I'm sorry, it's the first I'm hearing about it, so we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can fix it. I'll try the best I can,
Just
all
out
right?
of curiosity, is there a difference in jurisdiction? Because I did it in the city, where I would go into someone's.
Well, he can't play music that is distracting to all his neighbors. If it's that loud, it doesn't matter what time it is.
But I would
He's not
issue-
allowed to do that.
I'd issue an environmental control.
Yeah, we can do that. It's a town summons, and then if he doesn't pay it, he'll probably get a warrant, and then we'll arrest him after
I
that,
mean,
but,
the size of the speaker that they have in the backyard,
Yeah.
they have it like,
Yeah, it's
lights
ridiculous.
and everything. It's
No, I
like a
know.
disco, and the music.
yeah. It's unfortunate because, some neighbors don't care about their other neighbors, and you got one. That's a problem. We'll see what we can do, try to help you. I'll do everything I can to try and help you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Just give her the address on the way out, okay, so we can talk to this gentleman? All right? No
A
problem.
lot of luck with that.
I'll go there myself if I have to, I don't care. We'll figure something out.
Okay, so it's probably the same type of a thing, but very different. They're probably renting it out and they're, for parties and stuff and getting paid.
B&B, they're not allowed to do that.
Right. So if you're not allowed to do something like that, then you can be summoned or arrested or shut down?
It's mostly town codes, probably, yeah, summons.
would call the-
Start with the summons. Yes?
Hi, are there, I believe there's an officer in room that actually has come to my street. I live on a very serious turn.
No, yeah.
It's a well-traveled road with serious blind turns, and it's highly traveled because it's on the weekends in particular. There are motorcycle packs that come through, which,
Wow.
like, we almost, you know, they're not all day long. It tends to be in the morning and then later in the day. It's like groups of Harleys coming through, so it's pretty, you know, a lot of rumbling. At the same time, there are a lot of bike routes through there because that road goes on. And you can take it all the way over to Centerport Beach, and that's part of
Oh, that's
the
why,
reason why
okay.
it's such an attractive spot is because they've got a great place to land.
Got it.
And it's a beautiful path. It's up and down and winds all around. There's also 3 beaches off that road.
Okay.
Public beaches and a couple private beaches. So there's no lack of traffic, and it's it's an obnoxious area to live in. There's the volume that's involved, there's the speed that's involved.
Okay.
There's the disrespect for, you know, the authorities, and there's kind of the lack of authorities. And I almost feel like because it's this kind of beach-ish community, and we don't have in that section our own private, police department, and some of those areas do, we kind of don't see a lot of blue and white vehicles.
No problem.
And I think the officer, Mike, I don't know if he's against the back wall, I don't know, that came down. I went to the precinct a couple times, and I too do a lot for my community. You know, I've been dealing with the town, 5 traffic and safety directors later.
Okay.
I mean, no one has done anything. And it's gotten to the point, I've been told to move the entrance to my driveway, I've been told to put a mirror out. You can't see a turn you can't see cars on a blind turn. The speed is incredible. The road is actually so bad at 2 points, it's marked 10 miles an hour,
Yeah.
which is pretty hard to find around here.
I know the road.
I mean, it's
So mostly weekends, you're saying, and
No,
volume?
The weekends are diversified with
Okay.
like outsiders coming in and adding
Okay.
to the bulk of daily, people utilizing the road. And since they put in the 2 donuts down near
Yeah,
the
the circles,
Veterans
yep.
Hall and all, we've got truck traffic even that is avoiding 25A because it's so backed up to get into the village to do their deliveries.
and they're
So
coming
now they're
around that
coming
way?
in the back roads and coming down those hills.
Well, they should be prohibited by signs for commercial traffic
Well,
there.
they do, but because
Okay.
there's no collaboration for, I can go to the town and I can go to you, but it's the meeting of the 2 minds. There's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they say go to the precinct, and you might suggest I go to the town, and I've done
Sure.
that, but
Let me just explain, okay? So when it comes to enforcement, that's our division.
Yes.
And when it comes to signage and all that, that's what the town does. So if
Understood.
there needs to be more signage, they'll deal with that. But if there needs to be enforcement, and you're telling me about it
we
now.
need
so-
enforcement,
So,
you know what
okay.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
And again, I really feel.
What are the times primarily? That's what I'm asking you. Like, when would it be a good idea for me to send an officer down there? Are we talking weekends? We're talking afternoons?
No, it's not limited to the weekends.
Okay.
It's abused every day of the week,
Okay.
particularly in the rush hour, the 10 mile an hour, the officers. at
Afternoon or more, afternoon
In the
more?
mornings, and then
And
I
the
would say
afternoon.
from like 3 o'clock on. And again, the buses are an issue. I
Okay.
have called the Huntington Coach Bus Company
Yeah.
and dealt with them directly. And I take down the bus numbers, and supposedly they speak to those drivers, if that's of any
Oh,
help
that's
to
good, yeah.
whoever else is complaining about the buses. But, I mean, we have to take the action independently, because we can't put it all on your shoulders either.
Yeah.
So yes, dealing directly. Chapter 3.
Got it. Anybody? Go ahead, sir.
In general, I would say the obstructed license plates
Yes.
on cars.
Yeah.
And just general people just driving crazy out there. I mean, I'm 2 blocks off of Jericho, it sounds like a drag strip.
Yeah, it's way
Multiple
too
times
much,
during
I know.
the day, you can see the rubber burn out on Jericho.
Yep.
So that's you know, the
We
less of it.
yeah, we do enforcement on Jericho. We're on, you know, you saw the list of places. That's one of our places we go. So, I mean, there's so much traffic and it's constant. It's, you know, we could write tickets all day, and I hate to say it, but I don't know if it's going to stop it.
Fireworks. I got a little dog. I mean, it just, you know,
So,
constantly.
so fireworks, I would like to know about fireworks, because there's been a lot of accidents this year, serious accidents, and I think it was the meeting before July that I asked if anyone had any, you know, maybe some information they'd like to whisper in our ear about these people that put on these large fireworks show, starting before next 4th of July. I'd be very interested in anybody who wants to give me that kind of information. That would be great. I would appreciate that. And then maybe we could do something about it. It would be nice. Yeah, no problem. We're good? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question about the stolen cars. Do you recover them?
We recover some of them.
Mondays?
Yeah, sometimes we recover them, and sometimes we don't. I get a report, like weekly, of some of the ones that are recovered. But you know, they're recovered all over Newark, New Jersey. It's crazy where they find them in the Bronx, Brooklyn, everywhere. Sometimes they find them local too, though. So they maybe a joyride, you know. But sometimes they're getting chopped up. Could be anything. Yep. We do recover them though, some of them.
Do you have a particular problem Mondays, or is it more high-end?
All different kinds of cars get stolen. There's no, you know, it varies really.
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
When you were mentioning the woman that had gotten hit
Mm-hmm.
when she was handling the tow truck,
Yeah.
I was wondering, the buses have video cameras on them, right?
Buses? Yeah, some of them do. Yeah.
So why are, excuse me, I want to hear this officer when he's speaking, if you don't mind.
It's all right. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Honestly, because there's a lot of chitter chatter and I can't hear him, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So if the school buses have the video cameras on them to look for people that are running the stop signs when the buses stop, why has it ever been considered that the police cars, ambulances, like service vehicles that are actually on their way to protect someone
Sure.
would also have those videos for people that don't yield and for people that are driving too close? Like I see people coming right close to an officer.
Sure.
Right close to an individual getting out of their car that's got, you know, flat, and the policeman is behind them trying to push, you know, signal for traffic to move over. Why can't we utilize more technology?
A lot of our cars in the second precinct do have cameras, so we can, you know. But it's not really for the cars passing. But we could probably get it on the camera if they go by.
You can make money on. I mean,
Yeah,
these are
yeah,
fines and
yeah.
their lives that
No,
are putting at risk.
I don't disagree. You know, as far as like ambulance and that, I don't know. I can see it in the future because they have passed all these laws that you got to move over, you know, for emergency vehicles. And every once in a while we do have a tragedy. So I can see it coming down the road, but you know.
It's up on the alert boards. It'll say, you know, please
Yeah.
move over, whatever. But if we're not enforcing it again,
Yeah.
you know, with a proper measure, which could easily become tickets and revenue,
Sure.
right off the side of your car without anyone having to get out of their vehicle.
Oh, like specifically made for that, yeah, like the buses,
Just like they do
yeah.
with the school buses and the stop signs.
I
send the
wouldn't,
tickets out.
listen, I wouldn't put it past it happening in the near future, you know. If they use it on a school bus, I could see it happening maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brings me to a point where I'm concerned about your officers' safety when they're out on the street.
Sure.
If I go to the UK, in London, you never see a policeman without a bright yellow vest.
Oh.
Here, with your blue uniforms,
Mm-hmm.
I can't see your officers.
They're supposed to wear them at
I hope
night?
they never get hit.
We have reflective vests.
They should put them on the minute
Yeah.
they get out of the car.
Well,
They
a lot of them
should keep their
do,
uniform
some of them
on.
don't, yes.
I'm serious.
No, I
The
understand.
other night, I had a power outage. I drove down the road, and there he
Yeah.
was, a policeman in the middle of the road.
Yes.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, yeah. When they're on accident scenes and that type of thing, where they're directing traffic and stuff, they're supposed to wear that vest.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they're doing a quick
I'm
car
serious,
stop,
you
they're not
know,
gonna put that on.
I'm in trouble if I
Yeah.
hit somebody.
Yes, no, I understand. But they do have them, they are issued vests, and they know when they're supposed to wear them, so hopefully they are doing the right thing. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have these meetings each month?
Yes, yes, every first Tuesday of the month. And every other month it's here, and then next month it'll be at the precinct at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And is the purpose for people to bring their concerns?
Yeah, that's why we have them. I give out the information of what's going on, and maybe you see something that happened in your neighborhood, and you kind of keep abreast of what's going on, which is good. And then I get feedback from, the community on, where we need to, what we need to do, where I need to put resources. That's why it's good that people come, because some of these roads I don't know. I know Earl Gate, but I've this is the first I'm hearing, and we put it down. I get a list. She'll make me a list tomorrow of all these places. I'll talk to the sergeants and my enforcement people, and we'll try and address these issues. So yeah, no, come to the meetings, please.
I'm concerned about the, what do you call it, blacked out license plates this man has and
Yes.
way back there.
Yeah. No, we know it's illegal, and when these officers see it, they stop the cars.
Picture of one, can I give
Sure.
it to you? On the way out?
Yeah, give it to, there, she's right there. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, that's part of it, yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Like you've said a couple times, like the ATVs, you can't put it, and the fireworks, like a whisper, like in the air. So
Yeah.
if we see something like that, do we call 911? Do we call the non-emergency number? What do you?
If you want to talk about fireworks, I'll stay after, and you can give me an address. That would be great. And same thing with the ATVs. If you have a specific address you'd like to give me, because again, she live streams, and we'd like to keep that confidential, and then we'll work from there. You got Alyssa back there. She got a long list tonight, so we'll put it on the list. But I yearn for the information. I want that information. So this helps us, do our job. We need the community involvement.
The day of, let's say, 'cause I don't.
Oh, well, like that, then you would just call 911, yeah, like something like that. But if you have a guy like what I'm trying to say in your neighborhood, and every year he has this gigantic fireworks show, and you have a dog or whatever, and you don't like it, let us know about it. So maybe we can do something before, the show goes on, and that's what we do. I mean, fireworks are illegal, whether people believe it or not. Some people don't seem to think they are, but they are, and we'll take action if we know about it. So, but we need to know about it. That's about it. Yes?
Thanks for sharing the arrest and
That's what I do every month. Come, yeah, there's no problem.
do you have any idea what the conviction rate is?
What, I mean, going to jail rate, or? Honestly, I don't know. No, I'm sure there's a
You
way.
do your job, and if the DA is not doing their job.
Yeah, we got a pretty good DA,
Very quickly.
Ratini's a good DA, trust me. If there's a serious charge, I'm sure they're probably gonna get time, but, it's all up to, that's beyond us. We don't get into the criminal justice part, the judges and however they bargain this stuff down, but,
Question, sir. Tierney, their office actually has some sort of community website and some people that work as well. So you might want to look them up on their website.
yeah, he probably has numbers. You could probably go in there and we have the transparency hub where we post a lot of those numbers, but he might have the same thing. I couldn't tell you. I really, once we put them in the cell here and send them there, that's pretty much the end of it for me, All right. Yes.
No, I have to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's a compliment to you and
Thank you.
and to follow up with you. Every other month, he knows I come here, I sit here, he cringes, right? But,
It's all right.
and I bring up things and we do, I've had this ongoing problem for 3 years. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, everybody show up. They don't know what's going on in the neighborhood. Might sound petty, stupid. I have a big problem with stop signs and speed limits, right, on my road. Not from me, for the little kids that are out walking. I mean, we go back to the buses. They got a bus goes to a stop sign, and 3 houses away, you got a local bus dropping off kids from school. But tell everybody, it's not publicized that much. It is on it, they put it on the library website. When it's here, right?
The department, SCPD.org.
They don't update that too much.
No, that one's hard, but Alyssa posts on Twitter and Instagram also.
I'm not on either one, but
Yeah, you got to follow me, Second Precinct, right?
I send,
Oh, Huntington Matters also. You go to Huntington. They always post everything. They got everything. They're up to date. So Huntington Matters. Go to Huntington
but
Matters.
tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell people,
Yeah.
come and sit down. It's one thing, he does listen, maybe, well, no.
Listen, if I could solve all these problems, I would be a very happy person. And I don't, I don't kid around when I say, I'm concerned about all of these issues, and we'll try to get to all these locations. I promise that. I can promise you that. I can't say we'll be there every day, but we'll get there. So.
I wish more of the politicians would be upfront like you are.
No. I'm not interested in politics. Thank you. All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.